Tech Watch. Tens of thousands of people are in Las Vegas today for the first day of CES 2022, which used to be known as the Consumer Electronics Show. More than 2,000 companies will be there to show off their latest technology, but this year's event will be scaled down, of course, because of the spike in COVID-19 infections. Dan Patterson is here now with a preview of what's to come. This is like one of my favorite kind of times of the year, as you know, because I'm a gadget girl. If I was to win the Powerball, I would go to CES and I would just say, give me one of everything, because that's how I would roll. But, you know, I won't win the Powerball, sadly. I digress. So this year's going to be a little different. It's scaled back, but still pretty significant. How will things be different this year?
Yeah, Anne-Marie, I know that you, like me, are a big nerd and will be watching all of the cool innovation this week. But you, like me, are not in Las Vegas. And for a lot of companies, this is the reality of CES. Look, Gary Shapiro, who is the CEO of CTA, that's the company that puts on CES, wrote in a recent op-ed that, quote unquote, the show must go on, and it will, as a hybrid event. Yes, there are over 2,200 vendors live in Las Vegas right now. They're expecting over 50,000 people to be there now, but typically there are almost 200,000 people. Most large tech companies, including Google, Meta, Amazon, TikTok, and others, pulled out of the event. Media firms, including us at CBS News, decided not to cover the event live, and that's because of the spike in the Omicron variant of COVID-19. However, the tech will still go on, and it'll be pretty cool. We are talking with autonomous vehicle makers, AI creators, TV makers, VR makers, all sorts of cool stuff we expect to see and experience in real life and virtually all week.
I can't tell you how many conversations I had over the last week, for some odd reason, about buying real estate in the metaverse. Everyone's interested in this. And I'm like, but it's not even a real thing yet. It's sort of like a baby-verse. Yet there are new products and innovations, I am sure, surrounding the metaverse. What can you tell us?
The metaverse is going to be a huge trend at CES and in tech this year. Maybe you got an Oculus over the holidays, or at least have seen VR headsets. They're kind of bulky, unfashionable, and kind of hard to use. Expect that to change in 2022. A number of companies will release VR and AR devices, not just at CES, but throughout the year. Late last year, HTC, the phone maker, created a device called the Flow, and this is unlike any VR device you've seen before. It is almost fashionable, and it focuses on both entertainment and mental health. It is also standalone, so you can take this on trains or planes or to your family's house. HTC says that this will be kind of the dominant trend of VR in 2022. Slightly more fashionable and easier to use devices that focus on things that you might actually care about, like work, education, and entertainment.
Emphasis on the slightly, based on the pictures that I'm seeing. But you know, it's a work in progress. But you brought up something very interesting. You know, you talked about emphasis on work in particular, and I was thinking about the way this pandemic has impacted our lives, and moving forward, some of these changes that may be permanent, like working from home. I'm wondering if, other than in terms of attendance, if the pandemic has influenced technology as well at CES.
Yeah, in fact, everyone I spoke to, including data analysts at CTA, have said that, look, the pandemic kind of stomped the gas on digital transformation. And that is kind of all the things that used to be analog becoming digital, especially in work. But if you think of those as macro trends, right, work, education, and entertainment, those are the trends that we're seeing play out here at CES and in technology in general. For work, we're not just seeing new and better screens to spend our time staring at, but we're seeing integrations. For example, the Fire TV integration with Zoom, so that on your entertainment devices, you can also work. That trend is kind of easy to point to, but we'll see that kind of scale pretty large with all sorts of gadgets this year.
Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg is supposed to address the event. Do we know what he'll be talking about?
Yeah, we expect Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg to talk a little bit about digital infrastructure as a part of the Build Back Better plan. We also expect him to talk about partnerships with vehicle manufacturers and spend quite a bit of time talking about both electronic vehicles or electric vehicles and autonomous vehicles. Autonomous vehicles are set to be a pretty large part of CES this year. We will see head-to-head races, and almost every major auto manufacturer will reveal new innovations when it comes to efficiency and the autonomous systems, not quite AI, but the autonomous systems that can power cars.
We should do a segment on autonomous driving and whether we'll ever actually see a truly autonomous car, because I feel like every single year there's some kind of dog and pony show at the CES about, autonomous capabilities, and then still we don't have a car that I can just tell to go to, the drive-through for me and it'll go. I don't know if we'll ever get there, but we should talk about what's going on there. In the meantime, I will ask you about what you're looking forward to this week.
Look, CES is generally all about, I know it's about the tech, but it's really about the people. And the people are where we really get the most innovation. And that's because not just the gadgets that are coming out this year. Typically, we talk with innovators who will talk about how technology will evolve and change in the near future. So, Anne-Marie, that autonomous car you're talking about is something that we're kind of looking forward to having conversations about this year. There is the Indy Autonomous Challenge, which will be a head-to-head race between autonomous AI-powered cars. And I think when I say people, I mean like talking to the engineers who build these systems to get a better idea of when we might see those fully autonomous AI-powered cars. My guess is 2041.
Oh, gosh. I was hoping you would say something a little different. I plan not to be driving in 2041. I plan to be, I don't know, maybe sitting fishing somewhere, and something that doesn't have to do with the car.
In VR.
Dan, thank you very much. Yeah, exactly.
Good to see you.
With my Oculus set on.